Welcome back to Soap Academics, where I teach guys how to budget, save, and invest. Go to soapacademics.com, free up debt so you can build generational wealth. Make sure you cop the latest merch, Bitcoin to the moon t-shirts. Let's get straight into the video. As we take a look at the market's fear and greed index, we see the markets with an extreme greed, with a 75 out of 100 being extreme greed and a 0 being extreme fear. Over time, these last 6 months, we've seen the market touch down to extreme fear. We got as low down to 17 to 23, and now we pushed all the way over this phenomenal rally we had these past 3 months. And last really 4 months, we had bullish engulfing candlesticks with the market being in buy pressure. And the markets right now are meaning to be all-time highs right now. It's a great time to be in the markets right now. I know investors are seeing their portfolios and they're taking profits. So don't be surprised if we see a little pullback after this month, with August and September being in the line. And we got too much a lot of volatility in markets right now. So make sure you guys are keeping an eye out of any downside potential, because once we know when the market comes up so high, there has to be a big fall or correction for you to buy the dip. So make sure you buy the dip once this comes. But right now, markets are in extreme greed. We are seeing consistently higher highs every day. We're seeing green candlesticks. We're seeing higher highs. We might see the market pull down for the day in the pre-market, but once the market hours high happens, we might see a huge breakout. So that's a good thing to keep at looking at this indicator or seeing what healthy sign the market's in during this trend. Off the rip, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin and how it's been performing. I like how Bitcoin's been very, 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 very volatile. I mean, we had pushed up to about volume about 100 billion earlier this week. And now we're seeing Bitcoin already touched the all-time high. We passed 112,000 where we touched previously around April. And now we're continue looking at Bitcoin. And now we're going to continue making higher highs now once we see Bitcoin really starting to gain more momentum. Now that we have Bitcoin around 120,000, we're going to push towards 150,000 to finish off this year. Other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum really been outshining Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin's already, guys, been peaking. We know Bitcoin's going to go high, guys. Yes, but what we got to pay attention to as well as is the altcoins and the ones that come behind Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to start off this whole Bitcoin rally, okay? Yes, guys, we've been seeing Bitcoin has been on a run, and that's going to be the leader. We know we're going to have to pay attention to Bitcoin first in order for these cryptos to start moving. But, guys, don't sleep on Ethereum. This is one of my favorite cryptocurrencies, and once Ethereum dropped to about 1,300, I went ahead, I stopped what I was doing. I sold pretty much all of my whole cryptocurrency portfolio just to buy the dip in Ethereum. And to this day, I had no regrets doing that. I bought Ethereum once it hit down here to 1,500. I sold all my Ethereums where I sold high. I kept pretty much most of it, but I sold all my Solana. I got rid of Solana, all of my other altcoins, just because this was a life-changing opportunity to buy Ethereum. I mean, these last 4 years, I wasn't really tied or paying attention to Ethereum at all. Price has been moving at a great range these last 4 years and 3 years for Ethereum, especially in 2022. And I missed it at $800. But once Ethereum touched about $1,382 to $1,500, I quickly sold. My panic sold all my other assets, and I just bought Ethereum. And this is the best thing you can do as an investor, is go all in into one coin. The reason why I did this, I had a strategy when I was thinking at the time was, okay, if I focus on one asset and it falls down about 60% in the 6 months or 3 months, that's a life-changing opportunity for me to buy. I looked at the dip right here. So starting off up here, and it fell all the way down right here. So off the rip, we can already see about a 65% return off investment once Ethereum recovers. So I'm thinking like, okay, if I can pour in a bunch of my capital in one basket and be patient enough for the volatility and the volume of the market cap to rise back to where it will hit back in 2020, I'm going to be set. I don't have to buy 10 different altcoins or 10 different cryptocurrencies to make about 10 to 30% return investment if I can just focus on one. Boom. Next thing you know, these next 2 months hit, I start seeing May, June, and July this month, how Ethereum has been moving. And guys, I have not been worrying about what net investment I'm making next. Literally, that one investment I just been patient on Ethereum and making sure I've been dollar cost averaging into this cryptocurrency right here, it paid it off. And I'm not sleeping on Bitcoin as well. We know that Bitcoin made this happen. You guys, Bitcoin had to move and increase its market cap to the trillions, 2.5 trillion in order for Ethereum to make this price. But in order for Ethereum to move to this price, guys, we had to understand how slept on and how undervalued it was. And me not knowing that the cryptocurrency of Ethereum is really undervalued at this time, I would have just went on about my day and then continue just having my diverse portfolio of shit coins, okay? But the way I had to analyze how Ethereum has been moving these last 4 years, it was just a life-changing opportunity for you to buy this dip right here. And I've been telling you guys these last 6 months that this is one of the cryptocurrencies. If you're starting off, you always want to start off with Bitcoin, of course, just to be safe. But if you're looking for a high growth return, if you're looking for a life-changing financial situation, Ethereum's always a good foundation to start with dollar cost averaging, especially during good buys during the dips like this. Life-changing opportunities during crashes like this, these 65% drops. That's the only thing with Ethereum. If you're going to invest in Ethereum, be prepared for huge swings to the downside. And those downside opportunities are for key investors to buy in. They're not times for you to panic sell. They're not times for you to doubt your investment. They're not times for you to doubt the technology of Ethereum. They're times for you to buy. And I'm just fortunate enough for you guys to see the journey of this drop right here and seeing how Ethereum's already back up here. Look at this amazing engulfing candlestick. I mean, we just been in a huge run up. I mean, we dropped right now from 2,100 in June 22nd, and now we're already back up a month later. We're up about 1,300. That's a huge momentum. I mean, people be like, okay, Ethereum is not really matching up to what Bitcoin's moving at. Don't worry about how the price of Ethereum is moving to Bitcoin. These are two different cryptocurrencies. They're not going to always move hand in hand. Yes, Bitcoin's going to have to peak first and make its all-time high. Then comes Ethereum. Ethereum starts to peak after Bitcoin hits its peak. And then once the second season comes, Ethereum is going to start moving higher, start making all-time highs. Once we see Bitcoin already touched all-time highs and making all-time highs. And we see that Ethereum lags Bitcoin, and it's for a reason. And this short squeeze that's happening right now in front of our eyes with Ethereum, we're going to be back to 4,000 anytime soon. And my reason of this whole purpose of talking about Ethereum is just because we have more room to go. And if you're just new to these videos, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, because I got something very special to show you guys. We have more upside to go, okay? And no, Ethereum is not high right now. You didn't miss the dip down here. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a great time to buy right here, but if you're still dollar cost and averaging into your portfolio and you want to look into start off in Ethereum, right now, I'm going to show you why right now it's still a great time to buy Ethereum, okay? Let me pull up the same tool I used to calculate that drop. And right now, price target for Ethereum this year, I'll say is going to be about $6,000, okay? Let me show you guys where we're going to go from right now. If we buy right now, and then we hit 6,000. So if we zoom out, and then we touch about 6,000 over here, $6,000 right here. And then we drop it from where it's at right now. Let's see how much return that will be right now. That is about a 45% return. So you have the opportunity to at least times 2 what you get right now. You can double what you put in. If you buy Ethereum and you start dollar cost averaging, you got a lump sum of cash sitting aside, and you decide to put it into Ethereum, and you can wait the next 2 years for that investment to grow. Right now is a great time, guys. Bitcoin, you still have about a 41% return investment. If you buy Bitcoin at 120,000, you can still catch a great return off investment with that. And these percent moves, guys, these are life-changing percents. I mean, if you're up 45%, guys, that is a great amount of capital to move off even in a year. So a lot of people don't even make money in investing, guys. but you are, just because you're subscribed to Sofa Academics and you're paying attention to these charts and you're starting to do your research. Okay, if you're up 45%, you put in 20,000 in and you make 45%, guys. Your portfolio is looking at least 32,000 to 35,000 just off that return. So that's the good thing about knowing when the time is time to buy. And now, guys, we're ending the year off strong. We've been having a rough year to start the year, but we know, guys, it's not how you start the race, it's how you finish it. So now that we see that we're in the middle of the year, these next 6 months are going to be key for you to start making key plays and key decisions, especially if you missed out the first 6 months of the year. You might have been taking a break the last 6 months, or you might not have been knowing what's going on. But here, you guys, you got to lock in, and this is where all stars are made. This is where professionals are made. This is where you go to the league right here, guys. If you take advantage of what's going on right now, these next 6 months, these next 10 years, you will be straight. Let's take a look at Coinbase. Coinbase has been having a phenomenal run. I mean, guys, this is one of the stocks that literally had a short squeeze right in front of our eyes during the Trump terror scare. We hit about $145, and then Coinbase rebound within the next month. We pushed up to all the way the next 3 months. We already at $415. So right here, this move is about 180% return investment right here, and that is life-changing move right here. You know, this thing right here, pretty much times 3 right here. We got a $265 return off right here. If you put an option off this stock right here during its dip, you're pretty much already then paid off a car right here. And by how much options you made, you would have made about $26,000 off this option right here. And it's just crazy just because I had option on Coinbase in my watch list, and the price for the option was about $2,500 to $3,000. And people that think about options and they have the right ones, you always want to be patient on those option contracts, because $2,000 to $3,000 seems like a lot to you. But if you're willing to put that aside and risk it, the option expired in August, by the way, and we still have about 2 more weeks. But that option, I'm looking at the option on my watch list, the option is worth now about $33,000. So that keeps to say that these $2,000 to $3,000 that we have in our banks that we're not willing to lose, or we're not willing to invest, or that we're giving out to these car payments, these are life-changing investments. These are life-changing dollars to change the financial situation. These are money that you need right now in your pocket, so you don't have to work check to check or live check to check. It's meant for you to invest, bro. These car payments that you're having, these extra credit cards that you have that equal up to $2,000 to $3,000 for you to have in savings, it's tearing you down, bro. Like, this is literally made for you to start freeing up debt so you can be in the markets right now, literally eating off Coinbase stock. It's really meant for you guys. This is meant for you. It's meant for you so you can literally take advantage of the stock market. Like, Coinbase is literally waiting on you so you can make money. So that's how I think about it. Like, all this money that we could be putting, that we're eating out, these extra money that we're paying towards other people and we're not putting towards our pocket, there's plays like this right here that are life-changing. And you're not going to catch every one of them. But if you focus on one of these stocks that we talk about in these videos, you're bound to hit off one of them. This is not lottery, guys. These are basic technicals, our chart patterns off dips and corrections, and we see different phases of the stock market, and we just play the right sides. Okay, it doesn't take a genius, it doesn't take a business degree, it doesn't take a finance degree, it doesn't take a PhD, it doesn't take anything, guys. It just takes hard work and dedication, right decision and discipline. Okay, and I just wanted to tell you guys about this Coinbase stock just because literally this is the same thing that happened with there. We've seen a life-changing buy opportunity this year. We know, then we hold on to the contract. We put that $2,000 to $3,500 investment aside, and then boom, you just watch it grow. It's like a plant, guys. You put a seed down in the soil, you water it every day. You know, you can check up on it, but then one day you're gonna see you have a tree already in your backyard, and it's already been a couple months. Okay, and that's the same thing that I like to do with these options contracts. These option contracts are what we need to be learning more and more every day, just because they're really how you really start developing an asset without you having too much money. What are ways that you can start developing assets as a young person in your 20s, or even at 18, or even as a teenager? Number one is learning how stock options are, learning how you can start developing shares at a young age, and you can start dollar cost averaging. These are things that you should be learning right now so you can start freeing debt and building generational wealth long term. And I just love this play that we've seen in Coinbase. We still have more room to go with Coinbase. I see Coinbase hitting $500 this year, but even probably breaking through that, probably $600. The demand for cryptocurrency this year, we're going to see cryptocurrency be way institutionalized. We're going to see the most users. We're going to see the biggest rally in cryptocurrency history, guys, this year. So that's why Coinbase has such a high target, and we see such a huge pump from being at $145 to $415. We're going to dive into stocks, and this stock right here is what you need to be paying attention. Like I said, you just need to be focused on one of them in order for you to start building that generational wealth and stop living check to check. And this one right here is called Advanced Micro Devices. Advanced Micro Devices, AMD stock, has been on a phenomenal run. It's been one of my favorite stocks these last 3 years, and we've seen a life-changing buy opportunity this year as well. AMD touched $76 during the Trump tariff scare. And if you know AMD is one of those chips and those technology devices that's been around since 1965. It's really one of the founding fathers of the early stage of technology that really been through it all to the early stage of the technology and where it's at now. And now we see AMD's a huge factor towards the AI race. We've seen Sam Altman and OpenAI, ChatGPT stock, and CoreWeave. They all come together, and we've seen the government really having huge requirements for these tech companies like AMD, CoreWeave, and ChatGPT, guys. We're seeing that there's a huge requirement for America to be really a leader in AI and really pushing towards this AI race. And AMD is going to be one of those stocks that's going to be used in terms of hardware, the devices being needed in order for AI to function. We've seen they have a nice, really good AMD device microchip that they release for the consumers, and it's consuming a lot of revenue long term for the stock and the company. And we know long term AMD is just always getting profiting as long as they come up with these new technology, graphic design chips, and these semiconductors. We know long term AMD is going to push about, this year I can see AMD pushing about $240. Right now we see AMD's currently at $160, but we just look at the huge run up AMD's been having. We have not took any breaks from AMD's price. I mean, last week we seen AMD pull down to 131. Now next following week we're already up $30. We pushed up to 160. So this is just showing that anytime we see AMD, like I said in the last video, anytime we see AMD fall between like these 7% days, and then it kind of has a down day, you want to buy those days because it's going to have a huge higher high the next few days or next week after that. Okay? We got to kind of see the trend here, guys. We're in a huge uptrend with AMD, and we want to make sure that we're following the trend or buying with the trend. And if you buy high, just make sure you have the biggest asset on your side, which is time. And if you have a contract option, you want to make sure your time is at least about 6 to 3 months ahead from now, so you can make sure you get a great return off AMD. That's because people who bought during March, contract at $80, a contract for AMD was about $3,000. How do I know this? Because I study these option contracts, and I actually own some of these contract options, and I make sure that I get in a good price. That's because if you get in early with an option contract, you save more money and you get in at a better price than somebody who's getting in now. They pay more premium, they pay more. Okay, so $80 strike price would have been about $2,500 to $3,000 during the time that the Trump tariffs happened, and then the contract expired would have been about January and 2026. Okay, and now right now that contract is it's already 100 to 200% way more worth than that. The contract is about worth to 24,000 now. That's because we already seen it push up $80. So every dollar that the stock goes up, the stock pushes up $100. The contract's worth up $100. So now that we see it go up $80, so $80 times 100 is 8,000 return investment. So the contract is at least worth $10,000 to $15,000 at least. If you have multiple of them, you will get way more return investment. But the thing I'm saying is just because we're going to reach $250 this year with AMD, right? And currently we're at $160 with AMD. If we can lock in and even buy multiple contracts or even one contract, that will be enough for us to stop working check to check. And we can literally get at least about, I would say, at $8,000 return investment contract to about $5,000 return of contract, just because the price of stock is already pretty much up there rebounded. But y'all guys know whenever a stock falls down and it dips, the stock recovers. But once the stock recovers, we have to make an all-time high. Every stock pattern I see in a bear market, and then a consolidated market, and then a breakout market being higher highs, and a bull rally with buyers stepping in, we always surpass the recent all-time high. So this stock has to pass $226. Once we do, we will continue making a higher high. And so that way I like to have this contract right here having more time for us to make sure we maximize our return. Okay, even if we do get $1,000 to $500 a day between, that's good. You know what I'm saying? You can always take that profit. But as a long-term contract, as a person who buys leaps, we want to make sure we get in the max return off investment. We like to see those $1,000 gains. Okay, and this is going to be that contract right here. So look out for a contract that expires between maybe June 2026 or even April or February. Okay, that will be a good enough. Anything in 2026, your contract is in the money. If you can hold on to AMD contract anytime in that range, and you can hold this whole move for us to be right here, just because these next quarter earnings, we're going to have great results, especially with these AI sales, guys. AI sales for AMD is going to be phenomenal. I'm not worried about any of these next quarter return off revenue where there's going to be green. This thing right here is going to be printing money. People love these new AI chips. Businesses are buying it, guys. So I'm not worried about any false earnings. And if the stock falls, of course, we're going to see the stock fall. That's just going to be your opportunity for you to buy and get inside this huge momentum rally so you can start profiting. Anything we see, any 5%, 7% weeks or days that we see is our sign to get in, guys. So keep an eye on AMD. And I'm just excited for to see this huge rebound, especially during the stock being down like huge range between that $100 to $120 range. We broke out these last few months, and right now the price doesn't want to stay still. I mean, every day we're seeing greens, even if it's 33 cents. That's still return off with that option right there. You got way more leverage with that. So beware of AMD making all-time highs, especially with the market with extreme greed. That means buyers are stepping in. So this is one of my favorite stocks. Like, I just like to focus on and really maximize that return. And this stock right here is just gonna be great once we start rebounding up here. We can even take a look at a different time frame. These last few months, this stock jumped in 3 months. That's why I feel so hyped about this stock. It really started during that Trump tariff. We hit a nice little butterfly, dragonfly doji. Price went down to $76, but it ended up closing at 98 towards the high. And then from the next few months in May, June, July, these last 3 months, we're just seeing the stock in huge jet mode. I mean, we're not hitting any breaks with this stock these last few months. We haven't had a down month. So that's just a sign of being in a bull rally, in the bull market. And we're just going to continue looking at, especially ahead for these next 6 months. We can still see consistent green candlesticks for the rest of the month. That's a great sign for AMD. Even if we have a down month, we would have a huge rebound after that. Next up here on the list is Tesla. Tesla is one of my favorite stocks, that I've been keeping an eye on this month. We've seen Tesla been really in this range from about $280 to $323. And anything in that range is a great time for you to buy Tesla. We've seen recently that Kathy Arts, the investment firm, bought a whole bunch of Tesla shares. And now we're actually buying more Tesla shares just because before these earnings, I feel like the earnings are going to be pretty fair. I mean, we might hit during earnings, but the stock could still drop. But I don't see it dropping too much. There's a lot of bearish people on Tesla and people saying that the stock is a sell. But long term, especially this year, I see price target for Tesla at least $400. And no matter what happens during these earnings, if you're a Tesla holder, you want to be patient, okay? We're going to have a huge rebound with Tesla. We know the next move for Tesla is $400. No matter on when that will happen, you want to make sure that you're in that with Tesla, because once we break out to past $363, we're going towards $400, and that will be a great option play for you, so you can get at least $8,000 to $12,000 return investment once we pass $400. Long term, Tesla is down $203, and it's still down 41% from this past year. So that being said, Tesla is guaranteed a buy. If you buy Tesla shares, this dollar cost averaging in Tesla, you're already down to double what you put in. Because once we get past long term, I see Tesla being past $600, and we continue dollar cost averaging. Even buying a huge, nice contract option with a nice timing with this leap right here, will get you at least a nice $20,000 return off investment. You want to be patient with Tesla, especially it underperforming compared to the market. And, the market's been extremely great, but the stock of Tesla has been very lagged behind it. And this candlestick that we've seen for the week of Tesla, y'all should want to keep an eye on that. It's just right here showing us that there is indecision with this stock. So the next candlestick of the following week, which is actually coincidentally earnings a week for Tesla, it could be actually a huge engulfing candlestick, or it can be a candlestick towards the downside. But this right here, right, is a sign that you should pay attention. If the stock right here closes off for the week with this indecision candlestick, the next week following should be the candlestick that is key to determine where the stock is headed. So if we start seeing a huge engulfing candlestick, that is a guaranteed sign, guys. We need to be into tight Tesla stock. We need to be putting the leaps on. There's a lot of people that like to make sure this move right here is anticipated before the move, the next candlestick. So a lot of people like to buy it now, and they like to make sure they get their shares in and they get their position locked in lower right now before the takeoff. Like Kathy Arcs, she already done a lot of investments into this position right here around this price range. Probably started way earlier at around 294. Knowing the investment firms, they like to really buy it precisely at key lower values, and they have research doing that. But right now, it's a great position. I'm liking the technicals for Tesla, guys. This right here, this stock and this candlestick that we're seeing for Tesla is showing some good signs. I mean, even if we close with a butterfly, dragonfly doji candlestick, meaning price or went down the low, end up closing at its high, kind of like a hammer, that is a great sign for the stock as well. I mean, that is showing us that we can have a huge upside the following week during earnings. And no matter what happens, guys, this stock right here, I see that they're getting the new AI system, the Grok, installed with the cars. They rolled out the robo-taxis. That's going to increase more revenue and expand sides of revenue for the company. So this is all overall good stuff for Tesla. I like the way Tesla's positioned right now. So it's a guaranteed buy. And let's go cap it off for today's video. Make sure you guys go to sofaacademics.com, copy the latest Bitcoins to the merch if you want to support the channel. Also, leave a like and comment down below. Subscribe if you're new to the family. I wish you guys best phenomenal year, guys. I know you guys are new to the channel or you're new to investing. This is something that you got to be patient on. You got to consistently keep learning the bits by day, guys. Thanks, guys, again. I'll see you guys in the next video. We out.